Now cross-examination.
Yes. In December of 2019, what was Megan's medical conditions?
Megan's medical conditions consisted of neck pain, back pain, hypothyroidism, Lyme disease, heart rate issues, breathing issues.
And did all of these medical issues make her frail?
Frail is a very subjective term. Can you please be more descriptive,
Sure.
please?
Did all of Megan's medical conditions make it hard for her to engage in everyday living?
Yes.
Did Megan's medical condition make it hard for her to walk?
At times, yes, but she hit it very well.
So going back to the date that you remember coming home to your family being gone, how was Megan walking that day?
She was walking fine. She had woken up pain-free the day before because she had told me that the light had interceded and the light had enabled her to do so.
Okay, so she was walking around fine.
Correct.
And did she complain to you at all about, you said she was pain-free, so she didn't have to take any medication?
She was on a whole list of herbal stuff, some of which I have no idea what she was taking. Plus she took this whole diet thing in which she would boil these mushrooms, in which she would do whole sorts of, there's so many things she would do.
Okay, so she was engaging in holistic practices.
Holistic and religious and spiritual practice, that's correct.
Okay. And you said that Megan had gotten diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen.
That was her initial diagnosis, that's correct, and she had exacerbations. Like I had told you before, the diagnosis...
My question was a yes or no question. Let me ask my next question.
Well, allow me to elaborate.
My question was a yes or no question.
That's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
After she was diagnosed, or you were told she was diagnosed with Lyme disease, how long was it before she experienced symptoms?
Which time?
The first time.
I didn't know her when she initially got diagnosed with Lyme. She initially got diagnosed the first time when I was in 2011 and went through exacerbations, up and down cycles, all depending on her condition of her health, condition of her physically, condition of her mentally, condition of her stress-wise, condition of her emotionally.
And did she get diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen or in 2011?
Like I explained before, I guess you want to say the jury is out. of whether or not you have Lyme disease or Lyme exacerbations coming back and forth.
Okay.
She got diagnosed initially.
I don't
beforehand.
have any other questions.
Allow me to finish, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions about that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is it your testimony that from 2011 until December of 2019, Megan was suffering?
From 2011 to
Yes.
2019?
Yes.
Off and on, yes. But she consistently had all the breathing issues, the pain, and the heart rate issues, all depending on how bad they were and how bad they were affecting her to the day.
Prior to the day of the deaths, had Megan been suffering?
Most definitely.
When was the most recent time that she had been suffering?
Like I told you, I woke up that morning, all of a sudden, she was pain-free. The night before, I had worked on her. I had worked on her continuously, every day for over a year after she weaned from Zoe. Before she went to bed, when she woke up in the morning, to help with her pain, so that we can get her to the regular doctors. She had a doctor's visit scheduled for the Thursday after Thanksgiving, forgive me, I do not have the date, in which she canceled because she had said, there's no hope, there's nothing more that can be done.
Okay. So what kind of work did you do for Megan?
Did myofascial release, craniosacral, any type of relaxations that... My apologies, ma'am. Manual therapy in which I was trained under. Different things I would go to school for, or continuing ed for, to help treat her. Stuff I've read about, stuff I've gone through, everything within my scope of practice.
I'm asking you what you specifically did. So if you were
I'm telling
going
you
to
what I did.
treat her,
Yep.
what were the different things that you did?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay? There's no cookbook recipe in physical therapy. It's treating her ailments and treating her pains.
Okay,
So
so you
whether
did that.
whether or not her liver was inflamed, I did myofascial release to help release the liver. She had digestive problems. I would do integrated manual therapy to help with those digestive problems. She had neck pain. I helped with her neck pain. She had relaxation issues and stress issues and heart rate issues and vagus nerve issues. I would help her desensitize that through craniosacral therapy. I would do anything she needed to get done to help her get better, to help her progress in her life.
When was the mother helpers hired?
The mother's helper hired was initially after Tyler was born to help here and there to bring the kids, bring my oldest son to C school. So that would have been 2010-ish, 2011-ish, but she was upped to more after she got sick to help provide through the assistance of her aunt who helped finance her and ourselves.
Okay. At what point was the mother's helper no longer necessary?
It was no longer never necessary. She had moved on to another career. We got another nanny, worker, that kind of stuff, which Megan and her did not get along with. Then she decided that warm weather was better, so she came down here. In many pleas to help get somebody else, we got a babysitter in which you want to know the whole truth. I'm telling you the whole truth.
My question, at what point did you not have assisted help?
At what
Month
point?
and year.
After a year, let's see, we moved down here in 2014.
So
No, I apologize. Nope. Full-time was after Zoe, so full-time was 2016 she came down here. After that, we had no help because she fired the babysitter that we had.
okay. So was Megan the caregiver for the children during the week?
Through the couple days that I was away, yes.
And you mentioned the couple days that you were away. You still had a practice up in Connecticut at the time,
We
right?
had a practice in Connecticut, that's correct.
And isn't it correct that you would travel during the week up to Connecticut?
That's correct, as long as my wife's issues and my wife's health dictated such. There were times in which I would literally land and I would get a phone call from my son or my wife that things are bad, and I'd hop on the first flight back.
Did that happen often?
It happened quite a bit.
And when you say things were bad, is this mentally, physically, what are you talking about?
All the above, from the miscarriage and bleeding, to the fact of her ripping the shelves off the wall, my boy was scared, to her breaking the dishes, to her not being able to get out of bed. And then as things progressed and I found that my older son was preparing a lot more meals, before I would leave for the couple days I was gone, I would make sure that
Objection,
there was...
non-responsive.
Ask your next question.
You are a practicing, or you indicated you're a practicing Roman Catholic.
I am a practiced Roman Catholic trying to find, I'm a Christian-based and migrated to more Christian-based. However, I'm trying to find a church that suited me because Roman Catholic law did not.
Isn't it true that during your interview with Detective Miller, you indicated to Detective Miller that you were a forced Catholic?
Growing up, I was.
And at what point in time did Megan, and I'm asking for a year and a month, if you know, at what point in time did Megan begin seeking other religion alternatives?
In what regards, in what capacity do you speak of, ma'am?
You indicated that she initially was Catholic with you, and that she sought other religious alternatives.
Well,
when did she do that?
Let me correct your chronology, if I may. She came back and got confirmed because we were going to get married in a Catholic church. She was not a practicing Catholic at the time, except for going here and there and practicing Easter. Okay? When she got her yoga certification, she got introduced to this new gallery through one of the things. That was in...
When?
That was in 2009. After she got sick in 2011, she progressed 2012, 2013 to Gallery and Mirabai.
You said 2012 and 13?
Correct, after she got sick.
When did you become aware
When did I become aware of what?
that Megan was going towards this alternate religion?
When she told me. Initially, she would share her yoga certifications and her courses. And then in 2012, 2013, she would have me sit in on her teleconferences or whatever you want to call them. And I saw her progressing further and further away from medical towards the spiritual aspect.
Okay.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Going to the day that this happened, that you said you came home, where were you coming home from?
I had decided with my wife's conversation the night before that I would take the opportunity to go over, do some maintenance issues of the condo, and to put together my daughter's bike.
Okay, so did you leave the night before or in the morning?
The night before the morning of what, ma'am?
When you came home and said you found your children dead?
I left the night before, after dinner.
When?
After dinner?
What time?
Ma'am, I was on vacation. I don't know the time. I can tell you it was after dinner time because we sat there and I had my shake prepared and helped leftovers. I had gone over there and realized that my kids did not put the tools in my van, so I walked back and played basketball with them for a couple hours.
Okay, so did you finish dinner first?
I didn't eat dinner. My kids finished dinner, yes.
Did your children finish their entire dinner before you left?
They finished the dinner that was provided with them. I don't know if they ate afterwards.
Did you said it was your job to clean the kitchen. Did you clean the kitchen?
No.
So,
Leftovers, we throw stuff away. There's nothing to clean.
okay, so you didn't clean any, I don't understand what your job is to clean the kitchen if you didn't have.
Pots, pans, that kind of stuff. Nothing was there because we didn't cook. We had leftovers. We
Okay,
had,
okay.
what's it called? Hummus toast. Or They
Okay.
had hummus toast.
And you said you weren't hungry? Or you?
I had a shake. I wasn't going to eat at the time. No.
Okay. And did Megan eat?
You know, I don't know.
And did you have one vehicle or two vehicles in Florida?
In Florida, one.
One vehicle. And that was the red van?
Yes.
And how long after dinner did you go over to the condo?
After dinner, it's hard to say, 30, 45 minutes after everything was completed. I was like, I'm going to sleep out. I took the van over because I was preparing to bring more stuff back from the condo to the house, kids' toys and that kind of stuff.
What kind of stuff did you have at the condo?
We have a whole second residence there. The kids' toys, my daughter's, there's a bunch of blocks. The kids wanted some of their books, some of their stuffed animals, some of that. Enough stuff I wasn't going to carry, so I was going to put it in the van.
When you moved to 202 Reserve Place, what did you take with you from the condo?
What did we take with the condo? Clothes,
Is that it?
maybe some dishware.
And how long had you bought the condo in 2005, right?
That's correct.
When did it become fully furnished?
The condo?
Yes.
Let's see, we bought it in July 2005, maybe August? No, I apologize. There was a renter in there, so October. October 2005.
Okay, so in October 2005, you fully furnished the condo.
The condo, that's correct.
Did you ever live there full time?
What do you mean?
Did you ever live at the condo full time?
My wife and I lived in the condo from October 2005, thereabouts, until July 2006, when we moved up to have my son in Connecticut, in which we bought that house up there and rented the condo out.
Okay, did you ever move back into the condo?
Yes.
When?
Full-time, as in after selling the house. I think we sold the house in 2017 or 2018 in Connecticut. So my wife had started snowbirding. I want to say 2014, 2015, then she made it permanent in 2016 or 17.
During the time that you rented the condo, did you leave it fully furnished or did you have renters furnish it?
We had renters furnish it. I moved all that stuff back up to Connecticut.
And on the night after dinner, is it your testimony that you got in the van and drove over to the condo?
Yes.
And the condo really wasn't that far from 202 Reserve Place, right?
No, because of one-way streets and all that, it took me 5 minutes.
Okay. So you get to the condo, what do you do when you get there?
I go in the back of the car to get my tool bag out that I asked the boys to put in, realized it wasn't there. So I walked back.
Did you ever make it up to the condo?
No.
And you tested, what do you do with the van?
Left it there because I walked back to get the tool bag, in which I looked at the boys. I'm like, did you guys forget something? And they looked under the basketball hoop and they're like, oh, the van was locked. The tools are there. So we wrestled a little bit and they asked me to play basketball. I had a friend who always told me to take every opportunity to play with the kids because you never know when they're not going to play with you. So we played basketball for a while. We played horse. We played a whole bunch of basketball games.
For how long?
Ma'am, you're asking me, I don't know, sunlight's up longer here? Hour and a half? I don't know.
Was it still sunny out when you left?
There was sun in the sky. I can't tell you what capacity. It was still light outside.
Okay. About what time did you usually eat dinner?
It depended on what activities there were. That night, probably about 5-ish, 5:30. Some nights at 8, some nights at 7. It all depended.
Okay, is it fair to say that the kids probably ate between 5 and 8?
It could have been 4:30. It could have been 4. All depended on activity. If they ate early, we had a later night snack.
Okay. So, what happens after you play basketball?
I told the boys it was getting late. Megan had told me that she wanted to go to bed early that night because everybody had just gotten over the stomach bug and didn't want to be sick for Christmas.
Okay.
So I said, go into your mom. I'm going. Good night. I'm going over. Just remind mommy I won't be home. I'll either be sleeping in the condo or the, the studio apartment above the garage because I was a bull in a china closet. You saw how big I was. I was a klutz.
Did you often not sleep at home with your wife?
Yeah, when I traveled to Connecticut.
What about when you weren't in Connecticut?
Most of the time I slept with my wife. That night I said I would take the opportunity to go put together my bike, or my daughter's bike, fix the door, garbage disposal, run bleach down the air conditioner, normal maintenance stuff. And she didn't want me waking her up.
Okay. So, how do you get back to the condo?
I walk.
What tools do you bring with you?
It was a tool bag full of, there's what they call socket wrenches, screwdrivers, a gross array of all tools. I had a utility bag.
Okay. So you carry the utility bag and you walk over to the condo, right?
I walk over to the van, that's correct.
So you walk to the van?
Yeah.
What do you do with the van?
I realized that the phone, what I realized it wasn't the phone, it was an iPod that was lacking the charge. So I went in, knowing I didn't have a charger up in the condo. I had a car charger. So I sat in there, decided to take a rest because I was exhausted as I charged the phone.
Okay. So how long are you in the van?
I fell asleep.
What kind of phone charger did you have in the van?
It's a plug into the, what's it called? Cigarette lighter thing.
Did you have a phone charger back at 202 Reserve Place?
Oh yeah, that's where they all were.
Okay. So how long are you sleeping in the van?
I woke up by the sunshine the next morning.
So you slept the entire night in the van?
I'm sure I woke up at one point or another and went back to sleep. It was not current. I used to fall asleep in the pickup line to pick up my kids at school.
Okay, so did you sleep in the front seat, the passenger?
Front driver's seat.
Front driver's seat, okay. Did you ever go inside the condo?
Nope, never made it up there. Because I woke up and realized the sun was up, so obviously it was later than the 4 o'clock I usually woke up to treat my wife. And I didn't want to be in the doghouse, but with her waking up and being in pain and me not being there and not being able to provide for her.
Okay, so what time did you wake up?
Sunlight was up. What time sunrise in Florida?
So do you drive back to 202 Reserve Place or do you walk?
I walked.
Okay, so why did you drive over to Longview Avenue in the first place then?
As I repeated it in the first, which was already said, I was bringing stuff back from the condo that were of my kids that they wanted back. Obviously, I'm not going to carry a whole bag of whatever in my hands, so I brought the van to load in all the blocks, load in some of the kids' their Lego toys, bring back some of the stuffed animals.
Okay. So you get back and now it's daylight.
The sun is up, yes.
And which door of the house you go into?
Back door.
So you go in the back door and what do you do?
Go to pee. After I walked through the kitchen and saw the remnants of everything.
Okay, so you see everything still on the table, you pass the bathroom to go upstairs, right?
No, I went to the bathroom downstairs.
Okay, I thought earlier you testified that you went upstairs to go to
After
the
I
bathroom.
went to the bathroom. What I testified was I went to the bathroom, then went upstairs to meet my wife.
Okay. So at what point did she come to the top of the stairs then?
When I came out of the bathroom downstairs, she must have heard motion. She was at the top of the stairs.
Okay. So, were the doors to the library open or closed?
Don't know. Didn't see him.
Is the library not close to the stairs?
The library is past the stairs. That's correct. But when you have to pee, you have to pee.
Well, you're standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up at Megan at the stairs. You can't see the doors to the library?
Ma'am, can you see that gentleman back there?
Mike, you don't ask me questions, I ask you questions. Can you see the door to the library when you're standing at the stairs looking up at Megan?
No.
Okay. And you're engaging with Megan, and what is Megan's demeanor? Not what she says, what is she doing and how is she appear to you?
She's standing at the top of the stairs. She has tears in her eyes and said, "You're alive."
Okay. And what is she wearing?
She's wearing my gray HydroWorks shirt, which is something she usually slept in. And she's wearing some kind of pants of some sort. She had clothes on.
And did she have any injuries at that point?
Ma'am, she was standing there. She was fine. I don't know. I hugged her, kissed her, told her, "I'm sorry I'm late." Asked her
Okay,
where
so
the
what
kids were.
happens next?
I go into the bedroom because I wasn't feeling well, and she wanted to talk to me in the bedroom.
Okay. And what happens next?
We start communicating, and like I said, when I woke up, I felt nauseous anyways. And I don't know if it was because of the nauseous I woke up with or what she was telling me. I puked.
Okay. And so are you in the master bathroom?
That's correct.
And where's Megan?
You know, she's somewhere behind me.
So you don't know?
She's talking within voice distance. I can't tell if she's this distance away or she's this distance away.
Is she in the bathroom?
Like I said, I can't tell. You're asking me specific. She's in the room someplace.
So if you don't know, your answer is I don't know. Do you know if Megan's in the bathroom?
I do not know if the Megan's in the bathroom.
Okay. But Megan is talking to you.
That's correct.
And after you're done in the bathroom, where do you go?
Do you want the whole chain of events or do you want...
Which room of the house do you go into after you leave the bathroom?
Zoe, I go into my master bedroom, then walk through the door into the hallway and walk into Zoe's room.
And is Alec and Tyler's door open?
That I don't recall, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Why did you go to Zoe's room?
Because she said she said the kids were dead. And Zoe was my little angel. That's the first one I went to.
So when you get into Zoe's room, what do you see?
There's a pillow on her head. There's a hand. And there's covers on top of her. She's laying on her mattress on the floor. The mattress is on the floor. She's laying on her mattress.
What do you do?
I went over to her. I uncovered her mouth, uncovered her face with a pillow. She had told me that she had stabbed the kids. So of course I looked for blood, I looked for anything, looked for any sign of life. There was nothing. I turned back to her and I said, I thought you stabbed her. She says, I thought I did, I didn't know. It bounced off of her.
Okay. So after you discover Zoe, what do you do?
I went to the bathroom and picked up a washcloth. Her mouth was open, her eyes were open. She looked uncomfortable. It's my normal demeanor to help put my kids in rest. Don't ask me why I did it. I was trying to close her eyes.
Okay, so where's Megan when you're doing
Somewhere
this?
behind me. She was following me, talking to me. At one point she was standing in the doorway, talking to me from the doorway to me because I was asking her, I said, I thought you stabbed the kids.
Okay, so did you said you had charged your phone the night before. Did you have your phone?
I said I plugged it in and attempted to charge. Little did I know that the charger was not a direct charger. It had to have the engine on. The battery never charged. And I also found out that phone wasn't an active phone. That was a phone that we used for things. So no, it was not charged and it was not a techno phone.
Okay. Were there other phones in the house?
There were other possessions of phones in the house, but Megan hid them and would not tell me where she hid them.
So it's your testimony that you could not have called anybody.
That's correct. I didn't have a phone.
And it's daylight, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is it during the week? Is it on the weekend?
It's on a day that the sun was up. I do not know the days. The only isolation of days I've been given is from a receipt that I saw up there.
Okay, so my question is it during the week or during the weekend? So your answer is what?
A day that sun was up. That's all I know.
Okay. And after you finish with Zoe, what do you do?
Megan was standing there trying to plead with me to talk. She kept bringing up the story of Thomas, the disbeliever, because she wanted me to believe what she was doing. Brushed her out of the way, and I went to Alec's room.
And who was in Alec's room?
Alec.
Where was Tyler?
Tyler was found downstairs.
And was Tyler in the library?
Yes.
So Alec, which bed was Alec's?
Alex was the one, when you walk into the room, you walk in from the door, you have a square bookcase headboard thing. His was the one on this wall. Tyler's was the one on that wall.
Okay. And what'd you find in Tyler's room?
In Alec's room?
In Alec and Tyler's room.
Yeah. Alec was on his back, pillow over his head, covers over him, and there was blood.
How much blood?
Enough that I noticed, I can't really tell you, because I pulled back the blankets. The shirt had some blood on it, and there was blood on the abdomen.
Was there blood on the blankets?
Didn't inspect it. My goal was to see if they were alive, and my goal was to see what the hell happened.
Okay.
My language.
So after you see Alec, do you go downstairs to Tyler?
No, I actually do the same thing with the washcloth. His eyes were open, and his mouth was gently slack, looked uncomfortable. Normal father thing is to relax their head and relax, and I was just providing them comfort.
Okay. So after you do this with Alec, where do you go?
Tyler.
Okay.
I confirmed with Megan that Tyler was downstairs. Once again, brushed her aside as she's trying to convince me to see things in her light. I told her to leave me the hell alone, and I went down the stairs.
Okay. Do you immediately go into the library?
I opened the door to go into the library, yes.
So the library door was closed?
That I found out when I went downstairs, yes.
So there's a couch in the library, right?
Yeah, among shelves and a carpet and some toys, yes.
I'm just talking about the couch. Is that couch a pull-out couch?
Yes, it is.
So when you go in there, is the couch pulled out?
He's sleeping on the bed at a pull-out couch, yes.
And what do you find with Tyler?
Tyler's on his back, hand out to the side, blankets over him, pillow over his face, and when I remove the blankets, there's blood there.
Okay. And do you do the same thing with the washcloth with Tyler?
Unfortunately, I didn't go to the bathroom to what's it called, refresh it. It was just on me.
Okay. And where's Megan?
She's, at that point, standing at the library door, pleading with me to talk.
At that point, did Megan have anything?
She has some kind of, we have metal glasses, cups. She's had that and she was drinking something.
When this is all happening and after you finish with Tyler, where do you go?
Megan at that point had gone up to the bedroom already, and I went up there and told her she needed to get help. I don't care what happened. I don't care what she did. Get help. I will take responsibility. I will do whatever it needs. Please go to the hospital. Tell me where the phones are, because I'd asked her for the phones were initially, and she goes, I'm not telling you.
Okay. And this conversation is happening where
In the master bedroom.
In the master bedroom. Okay. And where is Megan at when you're having this conversation?
Fluid throughout the bedroom and the bathroom, going back and forth. At one point, I went into the bathroom because there was a Benadryl bottle on the floor. And I went into the bathroom and found a garbage bag in which I threw the Benadryl away as I'm looking for the phones.
Okay. And is Megan just kind of walking around? Is she following you? What is she doing?
At that point, she's standing at the side of the, when I left her to go throw the Benadryl bottle away and look for the phones, she was standing at the side of the bed.
On which side?
On her side.
On her side of the bed. So that would be the right side, right?
If you're looking from the foot of the bed, that is correct.
Okay. And does she still have this cup in her hand?
The cup is being up to herself, back down. When I left, the cup was still in her hand.
Okay. Where did you go?
Into the bathroom.
So you're in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at the vanity? Are you in the little stall where the toilet is? Are you in the closet? Where in the bathroom are you?
I'm bouncing around all the place, in the closet and around looking for the phones.
Okay, so you're looking for the phones. You're not using the bathroom.
At that point, no.
And Megan is within the master bedroom, master bathroom.
She's in the master bedroom.
She's in the master bedroom. So when you're standing in your master bathroom, can you see in the bedroom?
I can see partial in the bedroom.
What part of the bedroom can you see if you're in the bathroom?
As shown on the photos, if I may reference that.
Yeah.
I could see the green chair and the, what are they called? My mom used to call it a hope chest, but we had a...
The chest at the foot of the bed?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that view from the bathroom. Is Megan within your view?
No, she's standing by her end table. When I left her, she's standing by the end table on her side of the bed.
Okay. And how long are you in the bathroom?
Don't know. A few minutes.
What happens when you come out of the bathroom?
As I'm walking out of the bathroom, I hear a sound that is similar to a balloon. You know, like you rub a balloon, like a... At which point, I poked my head out as they were coming out, and I see her laying on her back, stabbing herself.
Where at? Is she in the bed? Is she on
She's
the
laying
floor?
on her back, on her side of the bed, with her head on the pillow, laying on her back, on top of sheets, with the knife in her abdomen.
What color was the knife?
The knife was the only knife that was there, was a green buck knife that I bought for the kids as a Christmas present as part of their fishing lures.
Okay, so she has a green knife.
That's correct.
Is she right-handed or left-handed?
Green-handled knife.
Green-handled knife. Is she right-handed or left-handed?
She's right-handed.
And which hand was on the knife?
Both hands were on the knife.
Both hands were on the knife.
Yes.
And you said that the knife was in her abdomen
Yes.
when you came out of the bathroom.
Yes.
What'd you do?
I stood there in shock. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And at that point, she says, "I'm doing what I did to the boys. I'm trying to get my inferior vena cava." She said, "I'm doing what I did to the boys, trying to get my inferior vena cava."
Did you go for help?
I went over to my wife and pleaded for her to tell me where the phones were. She asked me not to leave her. She did not leave the boys.
So my question is, did you go for help, yes or no?
The answer is no.
After Megan dies, how long, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, we skipped over quite a bit there. I don't know if you want to go through everything or not.
What did you do after Megan died?
What did I do? I yelled out the window to see if anybody was around to help. There was some weird sound coming from her mouth. I thought she was breathing. I started CPR after I wiped her mouth off with that gray pillow.
Okay, so she stabs herself once or twice?
Like I said before, she stabbed herself a cumulative times of twice.
Okay. And these are right after each other?
That is no.
Okay, so what happens?
She stabbed herself the first time. I sat there pleading with her to allow me to find the phones, to allow me to leave her to go get help. My loyalty is to my wife. She did not want to be alone. I thought if I stood there, she said she was going through the inferior vena cava. I have medical experience to know that one of those major arteries will bleed out quickly. In the area of the house, we liked the house rental because there was no one around. Neighbors weren't there. Most of the neighbors around us were snowbirds. If I left her, I thought she was going to die. I thought in my decision making, the best chance was for her to tell me where the phones were. At one point, I hate to say I annoyed her. I was trying to convince her, trying to talk in her language, saying obviously the universe doesn't want you to go. She says, "I want to be with my kids. I need to be with my kids." So I leave.
Objection, non-responsive. What do you do after Megan dies?
Like I said, I yell out the front window of our bedroom for anybody. Help, 202, please. I don't know where the phones are. I hear some kind of weird breathing, some kind of weird air exchange, something. No heartbeat. They never went over that in CPR class. But you know what? I was trying anything. So I started CPR chest compressions. And when I didn't see her breathing, I would do mouth compressions. I didn't care about the blood. I didn't care about all that.
What do you do after this?
At what point are you referencing?
What do you do the rest of the day? It's the morning. What do you do the rest of the day?
I literally broke down there and cried. Don't ask me how long, because I have no idea how long. I was in a state of confusion. I was in a state of whatever. I couldn't help my wife pass. I felt a failure. I wasn't there the night my kids were died. I felt a failure. I decided that I wanted to be with my family, that I wanted to die, that I deserved to die. I condemned myself to death. I was ashamed.
What did you do?
I sat there and cried for a while. At some point that I realized now, after seeing the receipt up there, I decided I was going to go and get a gun. At some point, as the receipt said, on 12/18, I went and purchased that first pellet gun. After I inquired of purchasing a gun to find out that there's a 3-day rule in Florida. I've never purchased a gun before. I purchased that gun, which was a pellet gun that I was planning to give my kids, my boys, a Christmas present with. I left and came back.
What kind of gun were you trying to buy?
Any gun they would sell me.
Did you try and buy a shotgun?
No, I tried to buy, I was trying to buy handguns. I inquired with them. I didn't inquire on a specific model. I said, I've never bought a gun before. How do I go about buying a gun?
Are you aware that the wait period doesn't apply to a shotgun?
Ma'am, I've never bought a gun before.
Well, you inquired about buying a gun, right?
I inquired about buying a gun.
So, this trip to Academy happened after everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
So on 12/18, the day of that receipt, everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
And was everybody in your family alive for the awards banquet on December 14th of 2019?
That was a Saturday, correct?
It was the day of the awards, the day that Alec and Tyler got awards.
Yes, they were both attendants. They played the recital.
Okay. So, how soon after their deaths did you go to Academy?
Well, if that was the 14th, I went the 18th, so that was 4 days later.
So how soon after they died did you go to Academy?
I don't know timeline. I know sun was up, and I went over. Could it have been the same day? Most likely.
Okay. So, did you go anywhere else besides Academy?
On that day?
Between December 18th that day and January 13th, where did you go?
I went to CVS for Benadryl,
How many times?
I think twice. I also went to Walgreens for Benadryl for that wall dry.
How many times?
Well, considering wall dry was disgusting, only once. That I remember.
Did you go anywhere else?
I picked up food, a Glumke, one night at Publix.
Anywhere else?
Not that I recall.
Did you go to Sarasota?
No. There was no way I could drive to Sarasota.
Did you leave your phone at a Starbucks in Sarasota?
If I didn't go to Sarasota, I didn't leave my phone.
So you're denying that you went to Starbucks in Sarasota?
In Sarasota, that's correct.
And so you never went to the beach in Sarasota?
Nope. It was over 2 hours away. There was no way I could drive.
And you did see the interview that was played yesterday, right?
Correct. I did see the interview.
And you did speak with the detective more than one time, right?
That's what they tell me.
You're denying this knowledge?
Ma'am, I don't even remember talking to the interview that day.
So, you don't remember talking to the detective on January 15th of 2020?
Last thing I remember was falling down the stairs and saying, "You hold on to somebody in custody, deputy." Next thing I knew, I woke up in jail. I thought I was in purgatory with the red floor and the bright sky.
Okay, so, you discussed a lot of information, wouldn't you agree, in the January 15th, 2020 interview?
From what I saw, yes, and from what I read, yes.
And you adequately discussed Megan's health conditions that you were aware of, correct?
Correct. The ones that she suffered for the previous 8 years with, yes.
And you also spoke about various trips to Academy.
That's what I said, yes.
And you went to Academy at some point as well to purchase a longer knife?
That's correct.
And isn't it true that you also said in the interview, you spoke about the note that was left?
That's correct.
And you told law enforcement that you printed it after Megan's death.
Correct.
And you testified here today that that wasn't true.
That's correct.
And that wasn't the first time you told that to law enforcement, was it?
Well, actually, let me correct the facts on that case, please, if you may. The initial note was the one I didn't print out. The note I found in my pocket after, which is the note Meg printed out, that I found in my pocket after I urinated myself in the garage after one hallucination and drank what I thought was coffee, but I'm pretty sure it was motor oil. I went into the house, stripping, and found the note in my pocket.
Which note?
The note Megan had left.
What was on that note?
On that note was essentially, I didn't read this note, but from what I recall, it said we did it to the family, which she referred to as family lineage. I had a different relationship, a different definition of family. And the other thing was where she wanted her ashes. At the bottom of that note, it said, "Tony, I love you forever. Please forgive me."
What'd you do with it?
What did I do with that?
Yeah.
I took it out of my urine-soaked pants and retyped it because I wanted my residual family, or my leftover, the family that was alive, to keep the knowledge that we were a family unit, and I wanted my wife to know. I want my wife's wishes known where she wanted the ashes buried. She wanted to be buried with her father, where we released the ashes at Harkness.
Was Megan's note handwritten or typed?
It was typed.
And did you ultimately throw it away?
I ultimately put it in there was a fan box in the kitchen. After I typed it, and I typed a second one that was, when I retyped it, there was some errors in it, so I put the urine-soaked one and the one with errors in it in that fan box. After I fixed the door with my father-in-law who died in 2002.
So, was this the same day that you came home?
No.
That this note was, when did you find this note?
When did I find the note in my pocket?
Yes.
After I woke up after one of my suicide attempts of Benadryl that I ended up in the garage. I can't tell you, sometime after Christmas.
Was this note in a pair of pants, in a shirt?
It was in my black shorts.
In your shorts?
Yeah, the one of two pair that only fit me.
So you only had 2 pairs of shorts that fit you?
I had 2 pair of black shorts and a pair of khaki shorts.
And how often did you wear these shorts?
When I went back I had a pair of Umbro shorts too. But those are the 2 dress shorts I had.
So how often did you wear them?
Daily.
And you never discovered this note in your pocket before?
Ma'am, I can't tell you I changed. You saw the condition of my hair, you saw the condition of my face. I can't tell you what I did. I was on autopilot.
Okay. So you actually, the note that was left on the green chair is something that you actually authored.
I actually edited it, that's correct.
Okay. And you printed it out
That's correct.
and you left it on the green chair.
Actually, I gave it to my mother who was sitting in the green chair for her to read.
Your mother was there?
Oh, my mother was there, my father-in-law that died in 2002, my aunt that died in 2013. Quite a few people were there.
Okay. So in your interviews, you describe in detail how you take the lives of each one of your children, correct?
That's what the video showed, yes.
And you indicated in the video that you began with Zoe, correct?
That's correct.
And that you went in, this was after you and Megan had an agreement and you spoke about various websites and all of this research that you did, and you're sitting here today saying that that's not the case.
That is not the case. Megan told me the order she killed the kids.
Okay.
Megan did research, would send things over. Did I research? Yes, I researched for years on my wife's illness. Okay? Now, as you're aware of through your experience, people believe they're Hitler.
Did you conduct any research that you told detectives that you conducted?
On which subject, ma'am?
Did you go to Quora.com?
Yeah, that was a normal website I went to.
And did you Google different knife techniques?
Yes, because I had under my suspicion that I found the website on Megan's phone after I initially found that, after I after I found the phones, and I also looked up other ways to kill myself.
And my question now is, did you watch numerous videos about going to the afterlife?
I watched numerous videos with my wife about alien and her alien, what's it called? I don't want to call it an infatuation, but she believed in UFOs, aliens. Those are the videos. I've never seen a video about her afterlife. I've only...
So everything that you told the detectives, the multiple times that you spoke to them, is not true.
Number one, don't
Yes or
remember-
no? What you told detectives about you conducting the research with Megan and watching all of these videos on the afterlife is not true, yes or no?
I did not watch videos on the afterlife.
And is it true that the multiple times that you spoke to detectives, that you told detectives that you went into Zoe's room, you gathered the courage, and you rolled over on top of your daughter until she suffocated? Isn't that what you told law enforcement?
Is this a yes or no question, or do you want the answer?
Yes or no question.
That is what the video, yes, showed me.
And your testimony here today is that Megan did it.
Megan killed Zoe.
And you told the detectives multiple times that after Zoe, you went to Alec's room. And Alec was your oldest son, correct?
That's correct.
And Alec was 13 years old and he was the strongest, right?
That is incorrect, ma'am.
Who was the strongest?
Tyler is downstairs.
So you go to Alec's room next because Alec's upstairs,
That's correct.
right? And you told law enforcement on multiple occasions that you went into Alec's room and you stabbed Alec and you suffocated Alec. Isn't that correct?
That's partially correct.
And isn't it true that you initially told law enforcement multiple times that Megan was in there during that killing?
That's what the video showed, yes.
And isn't it true that you also told law enforcement that Megan took part in the killing?
That's what the video showed, that's correct.
And that in fact, Megan held Alec's legs down while you suffocated Alec?
That's what the video showed, that's correct.
And your testimony today is that that is not true?
My testimony today is the fact that Megan killed her kids and killed herself.
Okay. So, next, you told law enforcement that you went to Tyler's room.
No.
Well, actually,
I went
not
to the library.
Tyler's room. You went to the library.
That's correct.
Right? And that you had to be fast when you killed Tyler, correct?
Most definitely, he was the fastest and strongest kid.
So he's the fastest and strongest kid, and you told law enforcement that you were afraid he was gonna get away, right?
That's what Meg told me, yes.
That's not my question. You told law enforcement
Oh, yeah, on
multiple
the video.
times that Tyler was fast and he was...
You saw the video, and you saw the video also of saying I said things that have been proven incorrect.
That's not responsive to my question.
Actually, it is, but go
Yes
ahead.
or no?
You didn't say yes or no, ma'am. I
Yes
apologize.
or no?
Thank you.
Did you tell law enforcement that you had to kill Tyler quickly because he was the fastest?
That's what I told you, law enforcement. That is correct.
And you also told law enforcement, yes or no, that Megan had to stand on the other side of the door just in case.
That's what the video showed.
And after you were done with Tyler, you and Megan go upstairs, or you meet Megan in the master bedroom, and you console yourselves, right? Yes or no?
That's what the video showed.
And you actually told this to law enforcement multiple times. It's not just what the video told, correct?
Ma'am, video, that's what I said. I don't remember anything after I left the house till I got to jail. So I'm refuting, I'm going on your premise that that video is correct.
Okay. Well, that is you in the video, right?
It's a sickly version of me, yes. It's an
And-
emotionally disturbed video of me, yes.
And that's you talking, right?
That is me talking, that's correct.
Okay.
Thank God I
So-
didn't tell you I assassinated
There's no
Kennedy.
question. So after that, You tell law enforcement, yes or no, that you and Megan get Breezy, the dog, to come up onto the bed, correct?
That's what the video showed.
And that at that point in time, you suffocated Breezy and took Breezy's life.
That's what the video showed. The truth of the matter is, the only thing I saw.
There's no question.
You didn't answer yes or no, so I said no.
So, yes or no, it was after this that you told law enforcement that Megan decided that she had to go next and she stabbed herself, right?
I don't know the rules to this question, ma'am. Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. Yes or no, the next thing that you told law enforcement happened was that Megan needed to kill herself and she stabbed herself, right?
By what the video showed? Yes.
And you were present or at home when Megan stabbed herself 2 times.
Correct.
And that you tried to, you actually testified in the video and you told law enforcement that you tried to help Megan bleed out more quickly by doing these different physical therapy techniques.
I didn't see that in the video, ma'am.
So you didn't tell law enforcement that?
Ma'am, you're asking me on the video what I
Said,
told.
did you tell law enforcement?
Which point?
At any point, did you tell law enforcement that you tried to help Megan bleed quickly so that she would die by doing your physical therapy techniques?
Can I tell you what I told the law enforcement by the transcripts that have been provided for me?
What'd you tell law enforcement?
I told them I provided myofascial release to help facilitate blood flow. It's a technique that you do not do. It's a technique that I did over her liver to help her with digestive issues. You do not do myofascial release to help blood flow. It doesn't help blood flow.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told law enforcement that at some point you took a pillow and put it over Megan's head until she suffocated?
That's what the video showed, yes.
When was Tyler's birthday?
12/30/2008.
And he would have been 11.
Yes.
And based upon your testimony and the statements that you made to law enforcement, he was dead before his birthday, right?
Before Christmas, that's correct.
And did Tyler get like birthday cards or anything from family?
Sure.
You
You're
don't-
very good at that.
You don't remember?
There's a lot I don't remember, ma'am.
Do you remember cashing a check that was for Tyler's birthday? And I have no further question.
Thank you. Be direct.
Mr. Todt, who killed your family? When you were not involved?
Thank you. Mr. Todt, you may step down and join your attorneys at council table.
Thank you. Thank you.
Todt.